fly fisher, the winter is full of darkness and despair, especially if you live in the south part of Sweden. In recent years, the winter has been quite rainy and mild. This year, I hardly saw any snow. Apart from the rain and slush, this winter is turning to be even more depressing. The coronavirus. At that time, I was busy learning new things at my new job, but in the back of my mind, I was just a little bit worried. Then the end of April came. I have lost my new job due to the situation. I have begun doubting myself on my performance in work and life. I don't know why, but I felt that I was not good enough. Everything I did turned into shit. I was feeling defeated and tired, and I asked myself, why do I have to feel like that? So I decided to do what I was very good at, and what would make me happy: fly fishing for wild trout. Well, this is a very short story all about that. Spring came late this year. At least in my mind, I have created an illusion that spring comes with rising trout in a mayfly hatch. But heaven knows, it's hardly ever like that. The 1st of May. The weather was a bit shitty. It was raining and the water was still cold. No insect life and no sight of any trout. But still the kind of weather you haven't lost all hope on. Until you hook into trees and branches. After that day, I started doubting my fly fishing skills as well. When I don't catch, I stop believing in what I'm doing. I question my technique. I stop believing my equipment and my flies. Then I started trying too hard, and that's why I realized that I have lost my mojo. Det bakar. Jag ska försöka ta den på en klink. Klinkis blinkis.
Varför flugfiskar man? Vad sa du?
Damn it, these kids are brutal. They made me even more unsure why I fly fish. Everything could be so much easier throwing a wooden lure. The legend goes that whenever you have lost your mojo and you don't catch, you can visit the river in the deep woods to pray and call for the blessing of the fly fishing gods. But in order to do so, you have to first make a sacrifice by burning a wooden lure. Then you need to walk down into the river and immerse yourself and pray to the gods.
Dear fly fishing gods, my heart is filled with darkness and despair, and I feel as if my equipment is cursed and my dry flies drowns in these hard times. I'm sorry for my past fishing with wooden lures. I really need to regain my strength and mojo back. So, in the name of the fly fishing gods, I pray. Amen.
And if you ever come out of the water, you have to perform the legendary shadow cast to show that you are worthy of the blessing. And only then you shall be reborn and blessed with the spell of catching trout on a dry fly. was a beautiful day. 18 degrees with a warm, gentle breeze from the south, and the sun was shining bright. Even the birds were singing happy tunes. Well, at least that's what I imagined. Also, it seems that there was a bit more insect life going on, and I finally felt that spring was in the air. With the new blessing of the fly fishing gods, I snuck by the creek and looked for rising trout. I looked and I looked, and I waited and I waited. And suddenly there she was, a beautiful creature rising.
Den fick jag med tror jag.
So, anxiously, I tied on a streaking caddis, hooked 14 and carefully jumped over to the stone. And then I made my cast. I let my fly drift a few times. It was a beautiful take.
Ja.
It wasn't the biggest trout I ever caught, but it didn't really matter, because catching this beautiful creature meant the difference between happiness and depression. I don't really know why I feel so happy when I catch.
Fy fan vad fint.
Maybe it's because of this fish was the first trout I caught on a dry fly this season, and every fly fisher knows how special that is. Or could it just be that I fooled my primitive brain thinking it was time for food? Maybe is it because I created a plan and then carried out? Either way, I don't know, but I really feel happy. And when you feel happy, you get relaxed, you stop trying so hard, then you catch even more. And more. Once you have your mojo back, every cast and every drift becomes beautiful, and you feel one with nature. Until you realize that it's dark and you need to find your way back. I really needed to find my way back to work.